What's going on there, Reject Nation? We're gonna watch today a fun Spider-Man video again. This one is Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon react to their original cast auditions. I've never personally seen their cast auditions. This will be the first for a lot of people involved. Anyhow, if you could leave a like, thwip that like button. You know what we say when it's Spider-Man. Let's get to it.
Wow.
I've wanted to see these for so long. So we're obviously shooting Spider-Man 3 and we're all going to sit down and watch our audition tapes.
Oh.
So I just, wait, before we get started, hey, come on.
That hair. Dang.
No, I got it.
Oh, okay, so a constant stream of breath right to the truck.
Yeah,
he's me. No, I
That laugh.
My name is Jacob Batalon.
What a cutie!
The fact that you leave and walked back in the scene.
Katie, have you ever played Beyond Earth?
They are thrashing that living room.
Thank you.
The self-tape. No, that's the best bit. That's the best bit. Wait,
He said,
the fact that you break out of character.
thank you.
Thank you. Right, you're up next.
I was just wondering if you're nervous about the debate.
Is this a Seraphim's space?
Well, Brooks Technical has a pretty solid link in
Yours is just really good.
Yeah, this is just like
You're
it's
just
just like
really
watching
good
a good audition tape.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
Even back then.
Like, oh yeah.
Right.
He has mono? Tell me more.
I'm the only one who didn't.
Right.
Yeah, you're like
I'm
really
not giving
still and
in.
collected.
I feel like my whole audition, I was like so nervous to say the right words.
Well, I'd say they made a good decision.
Hey, look, who would have thought?
Not me, right?
Not us.
Not us.
Not us.
Look at us.
Look at us. Good job, guys.
Wow. Good job, everyone.
Right, should
That
we
was
make
great.
a movie?
Yeah.
Do it.
We should go and make a movie exactly how we played those scenes. Let's do it.
All right.
Oh goodness. I watched that movie.
I could barely watch a video I did 6 months ago. I can't imagine what it's like to watch a thing when you auditioned for it years ago.
That was an audition especially.
Because you have that feeling of like, I've grown so much, not only physically, but also like as a performer. I think at that time, I'd imagine Zendaya coming off of whatever that Disney thing that she was on probably had the most fame and was most accustomed to like the filmmaking and whatnot. And was probably more used to seeing herself on camera. Because they even joked about like, yeah, she's actually just doing like a really good audition. This is like Zendaya acting. This is good acting.
Yeah.
But you know, especially for people like Tom Holland and Jacob Batalon to go back and realize like, oh, I've grown so much as an actor, I've grown so much as talent. To see that, you can see like where all that converting the cringe into slamming on the table, smacking things around. That was a delight. I really enjoyed the hell out of that video.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fun to see the things that maintained from way back then that still made like that laugh he did, like some of those mannerisms that made it into even the later movies that are still part of the performances, even though they are, you know, a little funny to look back on now. And yeah, just to see, yeah, the way Jacob Batalon walks out of frame, comes back in to restart the scene, like things that, yeah, obviously now you know, you just go into it, but it's so much fun to see, yeah, like the very origins of that and the sort of shy beginnings that led to the biggest movie of all time, or one of the biggest movies of all time anyway.
Can someone explain to me in the comments? I thought Jacob Batalon is bald and he's wearing a wig. I thought he was. Even in his audition he was. But then here in this video when he's reacting, he's wearing a wig. Or is that his actual hair?
Does he just prefer the shaved look?
Is it like when Christian Bale would do American accents in his interviews when he was playing an American character to not confuse the audience?
I'm playing
Did
a
they have
guy with hair.
Yeah, did they put on a wig just to not confuse people? Because 99% of the time when he does promos, he's bald. So I was like, whoa, where'd all this head of hair come from? Is that a wig or is that real? I was a little bit lost there. But anyway, yeah, I mean, looking back at this footage and seeing just how much they've all grown, I would say that it's funny, like Tom Holland's obviously perhaps the biggest star of them all. Like Uncharted was a big hit. He is Spider-Man. However, I think Zendaya is like the most talented one. If you guys watch, I'm telling you, if you have not seen Euphoria, you should definitely be of a certain age if you haven't seen Euphoria. It's quite mature content, needless to say, but there is episodes in there where Zendaya is just beyond phenomenal and such a nuanced, natural actress. I can't stress that enough. So I would like, oh yeah, she's probably the better performer. Whereas Tom Holland's a more charismatic star. And I don't really know Jacob Batalon's other work. I don't really know what else he's been in. Do you?
Nope. Just the Spider-Man. I feel bad saying that, but just the Spider-Man movies. Although I would love to see him in more things. I mean, I feel like he does kind of get the bottom rung of the totem pole because of the flashy stuff that Tom Holland and Zendaya are involved in. But he's really great, and he's got great comedic timing. So I hope that, yeah, this still blossoms outward for him as much as it does for them, you know?
I wonder if he still has to audition, though, because every actor gets to a certain stage, and there's like other actors that I know of where I'm still surprised by, oh, they make you audition still. Like there's certain actors of certain levels that I've met where you'd think they only go off of being offered roles, because auditioning is just this whole other process in and of itself. And to like audition for a Marvel film, you got so much competition, you got a lot of people trying to get that role. So to narrow it down to the right person, there's just a lot of pressure on both ends. There's a lot of pressure on that one person and who's going to play the role, and there's a lot of pressure on the people picking the role, and so many other variables go into that as well. I think the thing that I really like about what Marvel does is they seem to mainly go off of the best performer for the job more than anything else. Like I'm fortunate enough to know like enough, you know, producer, director people where I won't name drop anyone, but I know enough to the point where I can get these stories of you sit in on these auditions and you hear like the craziest stuff. I've heard this before, like that person's the best actor, but that other one has a bigger social media following. Maybe we should go with her. These are like things they actually discuss in the casting process in the audition room. And it's so cool to see that the three of them, relatively unknown or moderately known, easily three not like super famous people, to be able to get a chance at this movie and to see just how popular they've gotten. It really is a story of overcoming odds. There's so many odds factored against you. We're so used to seeing people where they're already famous, we're already like, hey, overnight star or something like that. But when you see this, it just reminds you of the hard work, labor, the focus, commitment, all of that factored in. And on top of all that, you have to beat unsurmountable odds, and they did it. So this is really inspiring for them to go back and see that. It's like they might be laughing and cringing, but it's really inspiring, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And too, I mean, I've heard a lot of actors talk different ways about the self-tape versus being in the room, and just looking at these here, it almost feels like, yeah, with that self-tape, they're able to, especially Tom Holland, bring out that creativity that I imagine bridges the gap that much more into the charm that will lead to a casting choice like that. That whole thing with the boots where he does the web gag or he flips into frame, you wouldn't be able to do that in the room with the producers and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it also gets to show the creativity that can sometimes be that extra ounce of lightning in the bottle that gets you a role like this, you know. So it's a fascinating look at the approach. And then, you know, I'm not like an actor, but, you know, thinking to me, I'm like, damn, it seems like almost self-tape would be the way to go, because then you can be creative and put your stamp on something without getting alienated in the room, because oftentimes in a person-to-person environment that's actually discouraged. So yeah, it's a good sort of glimpse into, you know, what leads to these massive blockbusters as well as any other indie movie.
True that. All right, guys. Well, Spider-Man No Way Home. Did you pre-order it? Leave your thoughts down below. Thanks for being here with us to have a good laugh. While funny, also inspiring in a lot of ways. Hey, let's end this with a Patron. Oliver Hamlin, H-A-M-E-L-I-N. Guys, new patron, you know the drill. O standing for Otto Octavius. Hey, that works.
Hey, L standing for level up, because I think you are at the highest level.
I for igniting my soul.
V for vendetta.
Okay. E for equality, because that's what Oliver believes in.
And R for a real one, because you're the realest of them all, Oliver.
Oliver, thank you so much for being part of our Patreon page. You're a sexy SOB. Hopefully you enjoy the limited content we put up over there. Very minor. See ya.